The British National Championships attract some of the world's top players, including the women's world #1 Laura Massaro and a man who's attempting to win his 8th British Championship, Nick Matthew, and they're both on court right now.
10 years ago is my first title. It sort of feels like yesterday in many ways. Had some amazing memories in Manchester over those last 10 years, and hopefully I can have a good 10-year anniversary and successful week this week.
It's brilliant. It's one of the only places, where I get to play in front of friends and family. People can come down and watch for the week, and yeah, it just feels really homely and familiar down here. And I'm only in Preston, so I get to come down and train down here quite a lot as well. So it really is like playing at home for me.
Over the 6 competition days here, there's 390 people competing on 8 different courts, which is a record number of courts for the British Open. So there's a lot of squash to be played.
Nationals has been in Manchester now for probably 20 years, and I think over that each year it's grown, got better, bigger and better. And Manchester put an awful lot into squash. It's obviously home of England squash as well. So it's really the ideal place for top class squash.
This tournament, the British Nationals in particular, draws a big crowd of great supporters. Often it's one of the best atmospheres on our tour. We have a lot to owe Manchester for their support, and it's good to be coming back here so often every season.
Over the course of this championships, 3,000 spectators are going to be coming through this fantastic venue, which was built for the Commonwealth Games in 2002 right here in Manchester. Not only is there the main draw, but there are 16 Masters categories, and for the very first time, a juniors category at the British Championships.
The generation we've had now, myself, Laura Massaro, James Wilstrut, for example, we're all in our 30s now, so it's time for that next generation to come through. England Squash has put massive investment into the academy programme, sort of juniors from sort of 15, 16 through to sort of 23, trying to bridge that gap between our senior pros and trying to bring the next generation of elite players. They're now based centralised here in Manchester in this building, so that's a fantastic legacy of the programme. But not only that, they're getting out a lot more to the grassroots, trying to increase participation, reaching out to sort of more underprivileged communities as well, and that's a big goal of something that I'm trying to do back home in Sheffield as well. I've just launched my own squash academy, so hopefully that will tie in with what England Squash are trying to do long term.
This competition has been held in Manchester now for the last 20 years, but for the very first time they have 2 of these magnificent glass courts for the spectators to enjoy. And those spectators are going to include 1,500 local school children who will be brought here to witness this as part of the local squash development programme.
It's an opportunity for kids and adults alike to come down and get into squash, play if they've already played before, and just have some fun. And when the facilities are there, that's half the job. Getting people on courts, hard enough as it is, and then when there's a real limited number of courts, then it's even harder.
I know how hard the guys in the academy are working now. I know how well the association's working, and the coaches are doing a tremendous job. The support staff, the physiotherapists, the strength conditioning. So I'm very excited to see how the next lot come along.
The British Nationals aren't just a tournament. There's over 30 volunteers on hand here, giving young people from the area a taster of the sports on offer.
This is my first time here, but it's epic. I tried playing this, I would like to play squash very much.
We obviously have a centralised academy now where a lot of our young players live in Manchester and train here 3 or 4 days a week, every week. So the courts are in use by our younger players. I think it's usually sort of Monday through to Thursday, but then evenings and weekends it's open to the public, it's open to the Manchester Academy. So there's an awful lot of squash going on here, and they seem to build it and continue to build it. There's a lot of kids involved, so it's sort of the way that Manchester approach it. It's actually building a legacy for the sport within the region, really.
This facility is a legacy of the Commonwealth Games in 2002, and it's been a fantastically successful base for England squash, especially with the academy base here now. You know that if you come here on a daily basis, you're going to have the best young players in the country. In
terms of coming down to watch the pros play, it's never been better in terms of the glass courts and the technology with the camera. The ball is showing up better than ever. All the players are more athletic than they've ever been before, and it really is probably the best, most exciting the game's ever been.
Manchester have always supported England squash better than And we've all said it better than probably any city on earth, really. There've probably been more events in this city than anywhere else, and they've mostly been huge events. Like the British Open's been staged here, the British Grand Prix is here every year, the British National Championships are as prestigious and as certain on our calendar as any event, really.
The British Squash Championships will be running until Sunday, and the rest of the world's players will be keeping a close eye on how the Brits are performing. Martin Cooper, that's Manchester, the National Squash Centre.
This is an exhibition called Grafters, Industrial Society in Image and Word, and what it does is it's curated by a photographer called Ian Beasley, and what Ian's done is he was interested in the way that photography, which is kind of born out of the Industrial Revolution, captured industrial workers. So it includes 121 photos from collections across the northwest, and it documents the way in which photographers have captured those people who were involved in heavy industry, going right back to the 1850s, right up to the present day. And what we've also done is we've commissioned the poet Ian Macmillan, very well-known poet from Barnsley, to write poems, newly commissioned poems, to accompany some of these images.
My name is Claire Holden, and I'm the owner and founder of Healy 7 Limited. I'm a trained corporate and executive coach and an image consultant. The reason I founded the company was really to help people become the best version of themselves that they can be. Why is that important? Well, we need to be professional in our image and actions at all times. And as we all know, 93% of communication is non-verbal, and we form opinions about people within 7 seconds of meeting them. So how you impact your colleagues and how you impact your customers and the way in which you dress are essential in terms of what you're communicating about your business. I established the company 3 years ago, and at the time I was focusing on one-to-one coaching, facilitation of workshops for teams, and helping them turn their strategy into practical reality. This included leadership development, and this is where I used the one-to-one coaching. As I progressed forward, it became apparent to me that while we were doing the coaching, people were getting a lot of feedback about their presence, their gravitas, the impact that they were having in the workplace. And inevitably, as we went through our coaching sessions, one of the questions came up around, what do I do about my image? This has subsequently led me to become an image consultant, and at the moment, this is the area of the business that I'm looking to expand. People ask me, what is coaching? And I think it's a very confusing topic, but in essence, it's a gap analysis. What we're doing is working out where you want to be in 2 to 3 years' time, and maybe beyond that, looking at where you are now, and then putting together a bespoke plan that may encompass training, development, sessions with myself, or sessions back in the workplace to help you progress towards where you want to be and realise your goal and your aim. And then it sounds simple, but we have to execute the plan. And that is often where it gets difficult. In order to bring about change, we have to change ourselves. And that is always what people find the most difficult about the coaching sessions, but that's where my support can be invaluable. Currently, I work with a wide variety of industries, so engineering, medical, I've worked with Manchester University, I work with entrepreneurs, musicians as part of the Halle Orchestra, and we do this via face-to-face meetings or via Skype. In the process of doing this, I've collaborated with a number of different other people in order to achieve what we want to achieve. And moving forward, collaboration is what I'm looking to do. So we're launching in 2016 a series of training courses with the Halle, which will focus on leadership, teamwork and change management. And during this, we're using music from the orchestra to illustrate the key points associated with the development of leaders and teams. In parallel with that, and more local to the Cheadle-Hulme area, I'm developing my image consultancy to work with local groups in the area, such as the WI, Women in Business, and any other clients who are located in and around the area. People can get in touch by my website, which is www.healy7.co.uk. Hi, my name is Claire Holden, and I'm the owner and founder of Healy 7 Limited. One of the common problems that I've come across while dealing with people and clients is that reception rarely matches transmission. And what I mean by that is that what we think we want to communicate and what people actually hear can be quite different. And we need to check before we move forward that they are the same. A further top tip that I've come across when working with people, and a bit of wise advice that was given to me many years ago, is don't confuse activity with progress. When we're working, it's very easy to get lost and wound up by the amount of work that we need to do and the amount of time we need to spend doing it. That's not the same as making progress towards your goals. If you're clear about your goals and you understand how to move towards them in bite-sized chunks, then actually the amount of work you often need to do is far less than you think.